Hello and welcome to St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is online lecture series and I am Rohit Raj from Civil Engineering Department. This is 29th lecture in this course of sewage and treatment. Today we are going to discuss air pollution. We all are aware of this topic, okay, air pollution. We are well aware of air and noise pollution. So we'll start with developmental activities such as construction, transportation, and manufacturing do not only deplete the natural sources but also produce large amount of waste that leads to the pollution of air, water, soil, and oceans, and also cause global warming and acid rains. What are the main reasons of any kind of pollution that are basically construction, transportation, and manufacturing? Okay, we not only use the natural resources but also consume them, leading to the air pollutions. Okay, air pollution, water pollution, or also land pollution. Pollution is basically presence of unwanted material. Okay, presence of unwanted material in unwanted concentration in anything. Suppose it is air pollution, then presence of unwanted material in unwanted level or unwanted concentration in air, that is air pollution. If it is water pollution, then its presence in unwanted concentration in water, it is water pollution. Similarly with land pollution also. Okay, automobiles exhibit from their tailpipes oxides of nitrogen, okay, that is nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon dioxides, and carbon monoxide. A complex mixture of unburnt hydrocarbons and black soot while pollute the atmosphere. Okay, so from automobile there are these gases that liberate, that are basically nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon dioxide, and also carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide basically is an unburnt hydrocarbon, means when there is incomplete burning, then there is carbon monoxide, else it will be carbon dioxide. Okay, and also black shoots, okay, means when there is shooting flame, okay, then that black soot also pollute the atmosphere. Now domestic sewage and runoff from the agriculture fields, laden and pesticides, fertilizers pollute water bodies, and effluents from the tanneries contain many harmful chemicals and emit a foul smell. Okay, so uh, the previously we have seen about the air pollution. Now waste from household sewage, okay, or agricultural fields also, we use fertilizers and pesticides. When water from these flowing through these fields, that is having pesticides and fertilizers, reach to the natural water bodies, then they pollute that natural water bodies, because these pesticides and fertilizers are not good to be consumed by any living organisms. Regions near chemical factories and other factories, they have their discharge of chemicals and foul smells. Okay, so now let's see the definition of pollution. Pollution may be defined as the addition of undesirable material into the environment, okay, as a result of human activities. Means what is pollution? Pollution is basically addition of undesirable materials in the environment. Okay, now what are pollutants? And that undesirable material which creates pollution, that are pollutants. Basically they may be defined as physical, chemical, or biological substances that unintentionally released in the environment, which is directly or indirectly harmful to the human and other living organisms. Now there are different types of pollution First one is air pollution that we are going to discuss today. Second one is noise pollution. Third, water, then soil, then thermal, and then radiation pollution. Okay. आज हम लोग एयर पोल्यूशन के बारे में डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं. बेसिकली एयर पोल्यूशन और नॉइज पोल्यूशन दोनों हम लोग पैरेलली चलता है हमारा. एयर पोल्यूशन के बारे में हम लोग डिस्कस करने से पहले बेसिकली पोल्यूशन के एक दो एग्जांपल देखने जा रहे हैं. जैसे पोल्यूशन, अगर एयर पोल्यूशन की बात करो तो जनरली टेक्सटाइल से जो ऑटोमोबाइल से जो मतलब मूविंग व्हीकल्स है उनसे जो ये गैसेस लिबरेट होते हैं, जैसे कि नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, और अगर इनकम्प्लीट बर्निंग हुआ तो कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड, ये गैसेस फाइनली एयर पोल्यूट करते हैं. उसी तरीके से अगर हम वाटर पोल्यूशन की बात करें तो जैसे डोमेस्टिक वेस्ट वाटर है या फिर इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वाटर है या फिर जो खेतों में जो हम फर्टिलाइजर्स और पेस्टिसाइड्स का इस्तेमाल करते हैं और वो जब बह के नदियों में या झीलों में जाके मिल जाते हैं तो उनसे वो वाटर बॉडीज पोल्यूट हो जाती है. तो इसके बाद पोल्यूशन की डेफिनेशन हम लोग ये कह सकते हैं कि जो अनवांटेड या फिर अनडिजायरेबल मटेरियल अगर हमारे चारों तरफ में हो, प्रेजेंट हो जाए किसी भी चीज में, वो पोल्यूशन है. और ये अनवांटेड चीज क्या, फिजिकल, केमिकल और बायोलॉजिकल कुछ भी हो सकते हैं, ठीक है, जो कि इंसानों को और दूसरे जीव को नुकसान पहुंचाए. इसके बाद हमें डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ पोल्यूशन पढ़ना है जो कि एयर, नॉइज और वाटर, सॉइल, थर्मल और रेडिएशन पोल्यूशन है. Now let's begin with air pollution. Air pollution may be defined as the presence of any solid, liquid or gas substance including noise and radioactive radiation in the atmosphere in such concentration that may be directly or indirectly injurious to the humans or living organisms. Okay, means in general we have studied about pollution, that presence of any undesirable quantity in undesirable amount or undesirable concentration. But for especially air pollution, presence of undesirable substance in undesirable concentration in air that is directly or indirectly harming the organisms. Air pollutants are of two types: suspended air pollutants or gases pollutants like carbon dioxide. Okay, so we have pollutants like suspended particles, and second one is gaseous pollutants. So we'll see. First one is suspended particulate smoke from domestic suspended. Okay, so these are sources are smoke from domestic that depends upon specific composite matters, dust, industries, and vehicle shoot. Okay, so these are the suspended particulate smoke for domestic. Okay, and its effect is depends upon the specific composition of matter. Okay, reduces sunlight and visibility, increases corrosion. Okay, these are the generally lung cancer, asthma. These are the diseases that can be due to these suspended particulate smokes from domestic and vehicular soutes. Okay, now second one is fly ash. These are part of smoke released from settle down on the vegetation, houses, ads, chimneys of factories, and to be suspended particulate matter, power plants. Okay, so they are released from they are the part of smokes, okay, that are released from the that are released and get settled down. Now we'll classify the pollutants, okay, on the basis of their size. Okay, generally the size ranges from 0.01 to 500 μm, that is micrometer, okay, in diameter, and particle less than 10 micrometer float and freely with the air current. Means if particle size is less than 10 micrometer, it can vary from 0.01 to 500 micrometer, but whenever it is less than 10 micrometer, then it can flow with the air current, means flowing air can blow these. Okay, particle less than point, 0.02 micrometer from form persistence aerosol. Okay, so major source of suspended particulate matters are vehicles, power plant, construction activities, oil refineries, railway yard, marketplace, etc. Okay, so these are the major sources for the suspended particulate matters, that is SPM, and its size ranges from 0.001 to 500 micrometer, and whenever it is less than 10 micrometer it can flow with the air current. Now another is fly ash and is ejected mostly by the thermal power plants. Okay, means fly ash is ejected basically by the thermal power plants due to the burning operations, and these fly ash pollutes air and water, may cause heavy mental pollution in the water bodies. Sorry, it is they cause heavy metal pollution in the water bodies, and fly ash affects the vegetation as the result of its direct deposition on the leaf surfaces. Means these fly ashes, as we have seen here, that these fly ashes get deposited on the uh, vegetations. Okay, means they deposited on the leaves of the vegetations, and they can enter our body when we consume this, or when the other organisms consume that. Fly ash is now being used for the making bricks as a landfill material. Means now we are using that fly ash for making bricks. Okay, and that brick may be used as landfilling materials also. Sorry, fly ash is now being used as making bricks, and other uses, other application of fly ash is as it may be used as landfilling materials also. Now, we'll see different gaseous air pollutants and their effects. Okay, so first is carbon compounds, that is CO or CO2, that is carbon monoxide or carbon dioxides. They get liberated from automobiles exhaust and burning of woods and coal, and they harm respiration, and they also create greenhouse effect. Basically, carbon dioxide creates greenhouse effect, and carbon monoxide harms the respiratory systems. Second one is sulfur compounds, that is sulfur dioxide or sulfur hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so power plants and refineries are the main sources of sulfur compounds, and it also causes problem in respiration, and they also uh, cause loss of chlorophyll in the plants, and basically sulfur dioxide creates acid rains. Nitrogen compounds, okay, motor vehicle exhaust, atmospheric, okay, means nitrogen compounds are exhausted by motor vehicles, okay, and they can create irritation in the eyes, okay, low production in the plants, acid rains, okay, these all are the problem associated with the nitrogen compounds as a pollutant. Okay, other source, other pollutants are not that important. Okay, so you just keep them in mind. Suspended particulate matters, they are generally emitted from thermal power plants. Okay, and they cause poor visibility. Okay, and they get mixed with red blood cells and cause cancer. They also create smoke. Okay, mixture of smoke and fog. So these are problems associated with the SPM, that is poor visibility. Okay, they get mixed with the red blood cell, that is RBC, and cause cancer. They also create smoke, that is smoke and fog. Now we have different methods, okay, that control air pollution, that are air pollution control and its principle. Okay, so we have basically uh, five, no, it is nine basically, but we'll study only five methods that are used for air pollution control. Okay, so first, source control technology. That means what we are doing in this method is that we'll check with the source. Okay, means suppose it is an industry, then we will control the industry release. Okay, that is if they are releasing some kind of gases, then we need to treat them. Okay, or convert them before mixing with the air. So air quality management sets the tools to control the air pollutant emission. Okay, means we will control the air pollutant. Okay, control measurement describe the equipments, process, and action to reduce the air pollution. We will it will describe all the equipments required, how they will perform. Okay, to control, to check with the air pollutants. The extent of the pollution reduction varies among technologies and measures. Means if we are using high yielding technologies that controls efficiently, okay, so definitely there will be low pollution using that technology. Okay, the selection and control technology depends upon the environmental engineering, economic factor, and pollutant type. Means what technology we are using for the uh, source control, that totally depends on the environmental engineering, means the planning. Okay, what we are having to treat. Okay, means pollutant types, and another is economic factor, that is how much we are uh, exp- uh, having our expenditure on that. Okay, on the controls. Now, second method is basically these are the method for the treatment, and this is control process. Means we are not allowing to mix, and this is uh, removal of pollutants. So first one is settling chambers. What happens in settling chambers is that settling chambers uses the force of gravity to remove the solid particles. Okay, means they use the gravity to remove the solid particles. As the gas stream enters a chamber where velocity of gas is reduced, large particles drops out of a gas and are recollected in a hooper, because settling chambers are effective in removing only large particles. So they are in conjunction and more efficient control device. Okay, means what happens in settling chambers is that they enter into a chamber where the velocity of gases is slow, and if it is slow, then suspended particles, large suspended solid particles, they get settled. But uh, due to capable of removing only large solid particles, settling chambers is not that efficient as compared to other devices. Now second one is cyclone. Okay, so the general principle of inertia separation is that particulate laden gas forces change the direction. As the gas changes direction, the inertia of particle causes them to continue in the original particles and be separated from the gas stream. What happens in the cyclones is that we use the momenta of the gases. Okay, and with this momenta, if the particles are heavier, obviously they are having high inertia, that is dependent upon the mass. So if they are having high inertia, they are not turning easily as compared to the gases, and we will make use of that for removal of solid particles. Okay, and the wall of the cyclone narrowed towards the bottom of the unit, allowing the particles to be collected in the hooper. The cleaner air leaves the cyclone through the top of the chamber, flowing upward in the spiral vortex. Okay, and the cyclones are efficient in removing large particles, but are not as efficient with the smaller particles. Same here, as they are using the inertia, so they are efficient in removal of heavier particles, that is larger particles having high inertia. But for again for smaller particles, they are not that efficient. Okay, so you need to understand the principle where the settling chambers has the principle of uh, use of gravity for settling suspended particles, whereas cyclones has the principle of use of inertia for the change in direction and collection of the particles. Now we have Venturi scrubbers. Okay, what is Venturi scrubber? Venturi scrubbers are liquid stream to remove solid particles. Okay, so Venturi scrubbers, gas laden with a particulate matters, passes through a short tube with flared ends and constructed middle. This is the construction of Venturi scrubber. Okay, and what happens in Venturi scrubber is that difference in velocity and pressure resulting from the construction causes the particles and water to mix and combine. Okay, means velocity difference causes the particles and water to mix. The reduced velocity at the expanded section of the throat allows the droplets of water containing the particles to drop out of the gas stream. Means once they are allowing the water to mix with the particles and then they are separated. Okay. Final method that we are going to study is electrostatic precipitators. Okay. Now, before this, we need to know that Venturi scrubbers are effective in removing small particles with an removal efficiency up to 99%. Okay, means they are quite efficient while removal of smaller particles from the air also. Now, final is electrostatic precipitator. ESP, that is electrostatic precipitators, is an particle control device that uses electric force to move the particles out of the flowing gas stream onto the collector plates. The ESP places electrical charge on the particles, causing them to be attracted to the opposite charged metal plates located in the precipitator. They are first creating a charge on the particles so that they can get collected on the another opposite charge collector plates. Okay, so the removal efficiency is more than 99%. Okay, so this is the best possible electrostatic precipitator, is the best possible air purifier. Okay, these electrostatic precipitators are not used in utility, not used in utility application, but also other industries such as cement, pulp, paper. Okay, all of these industries also use electrostatic precipitators. Okay, so that's all for this lecture, and we will see few points in air pollution and then another lecture, and then we will discuss the uh, noise pollution. Okay, so thank you for listening and feel free to ask any doubt. Okay, you can contact on this number or you can mail on this mail ID. Thank you for listening. Take care.